Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a comic review, but yep, I had to talk about this, and I'll probably be talking about this every time I get a new trade. And what is that exactly? I'm going to be talking about Thor, the Devourer King by Donny Cates. This was the first volume in the new Donny Cates run for Thor. And of course, Donny Cates has been one of my favorite writers over at Marvel. He's been literally knocking it out of the park every single time. And I think, honestly, Thor might be some of his best work. You know, of course, he brought a new level of character to Venom. He brought, all of this nuance. He brought, Death of the Inhumans. Of course, Thanos wins. He, like I said, just keeps knocking it out of the park. He just has consistent hit after hit after hit. And I really enjoy it. And Thor is some of the best, his Thor is clearly some of the best stuff. I would love to see if he ever goes to if Donny Cates ever goes to DC or is able to write a DC book. This proves that he can do a New God story. I would absolutely love to see, and not to say he couldn't have done God stuff before. He had done a mini-series called God Country, which I've not read yet. My friend Mount Vern Kid said that's on my list to be sent to me. So there's God Country was a big God-like story over at Image. But this was his first time dealing with one of the big two's gods. And again, how well he crafted a story here proves that this dude could write, I would love to see his take on, Darkseid and the New Gods. I would love to see him do a New Gods book. Absolutely. So what is Thor the Devourer King? So Thor the Devourer King is set after Jason Aaron's run, which you guys know was one of the big runs over at Marvel that had come to an end with King Thor. And it was probably intimidating for Cates to take over Jason Aaron's Thor run because it had just been so massive and so encompassing. Because at the end of that, Thor had become King of Asgard after the War of Realms. And he had been granted the power of the Odin Force, and he was now kind of just reaching his end of just being King of Thor. So this is where we are now, and basically Thor ain't doing too good mentally because he's just not ready to be king. He's just he wants to shank his duties as king. He's basically trying his best to be maybe there's a frost giant I can go smite or something. I don't know. But all of that, when he is going to, make his first speech as king, Galactus, a very badly beaten and broken Galactus, ends up on Asgard's door, and he's just like, Thor, I need your help. So it turns out that there's this entity called the Black Winter, and it's this all-consuming universal entity that is coming to this universe, to Earth 616, to basically destroy it, according to Galactus. And the other heralds have been gathered, and what has happened is that Galactus chooses Thor because the Black Winter, what it does is shows you your true end. And apparently, according to Galactus, his true end will come from Thor. And what he does is no, I'm going to keep you close to me, so in case that doesn't happen. And I was like, you sure you want to do that, Galen? You sure you want to keep the guy who's going to kill you that close? Okay. Not only that, he gives him the power cosmic. So Thor, let's do a quick recount. Thor now has the Odin Force and the power cosmic coupled with the strength with the powers he already had before him. So you'd think Donny Cates would do no, I'm going to depower him in my Thor run. It'll be totally fine. Nope. He's just he goes the all-star Superman route of, let's give him more power. Let's give him all the power. So Thor is now tasked by Galactus to help him find these 5 planets that will supercharge him, and it is believed that once Galactus consumes these 5 planets, what will happen is that he will be strong enough alongside Thor to beat the Black Winter. And I really like the Black Winter as this all-encompassing, just kind of it's nothing it's the one thing everyone talks about, and it's just this all-encompassing force. And yes, there is a joke about the DC universe in here. I thought the DC universe joke was pretty funny. I I really love the art by the artist Nick Klein with the color artist by Matthew Wilson. They do some phenomenal just interior artwork that just is so fitting of Thor. It like gives us this like this very mystic, very like you're reading, like you're looking at pictures from a myth, and I like that. I really like when you have the right guy, when you have the right people doing Thor work, because the real thing about Thor is that you want to have, you want to give Thor that kind of not only like cosmic but also that mythic look. I want to look for a picture real quick that'll just be, this is perfect right here. Look at that. Look at that artwork. That is just phenomenal. So, God, it is so good. Like, I really like these two, and again, it's just perfect for Thor. There's also another thing I love in here is that there's just some great fights in here. The one fight I really enjoyed was the fight between Thor against Beta Ray Bill, who's come to more or less like, hey, Beta Ray Bill, for those who don't know, Galactus devoured Corbin, his homeworld, killed all of his people, and also Corbin's Beta Ray is also here to because he thinks Galactus has tainted Thor's mind, so he's here to save his brother from him. And I really like, it's always cool because Donny Cates has done one thing I've really loved since the start of his run. He's really implementing more of Beta Ray Bill, which is one of my favorite Marvel characters. So to see old Horsehead get more spotlight is really cool. And I know Cates didn't write the miniseries that's going on now, and I really want to read that miniseries by Daniel Warren Johnson, because that dude was perfect to write that character, because he's not only a great writer, he's like James Stokoe, the guy who did Godzilla, Half Century War, and Alien Dead Orbit. He's very much Warren Johnson is very much like a great writer and artist. Like, whenever I'm able to get that comic, whether by myself or by Chris, I will review the Beta Ray Bill miniseries ASAP. But anyway, like I was saying, getting back on track, because I'm sorry for that little rant, the fight between Beta Ray and Thor is awesome. Even though Beta Ray is like clearly outmatched, because Thor is now just like uber powered. It's kind of like, but here's the thing: Beta Ray doesn't let up. Like, he just doesn't give up, even though he knows that this is a dude who could kill. Like, Thor outclasses him by a country mile, and he just keeps fighting. He just keeps fighting. I love all the stuff that we clearly see Thor is not thinking straight. He just doesn't want to be king. And the Black Winter is like the oncoming of the Black Winter and what Thor has to do to stop it is really weighing heavy on his mind. So I really like, I just dig this. I just absolutely love it. Again, here's another picture of the artwork in here. Just spectacular. I really don't... Well, the comic's been out for a while, so maybe I might spoil some stuff. Maybe not like the big end, or as Thor would call it, the true end. Because the big thing is, the Black Winter tells you how you're really going to die. Like, when it's consuming the universe, it shows you your true end. Like, no. And he even talks to Thor like, yeah, you thought that your end would be fighting Gore at the end of the universe alongside your brother, and, you know, bringing life back to the universe. That was the plan. Like, that was the... Of course, he's referring to the end of Aaron's run. But, like, you know, you've had so many different ends, you know. You've had so many different ends, Thor. You've been ended by the Beyonder, the Serpent, you know. Annihilus kicked your ass once, Ragnarok. But here's the thing. I know how you're really going to die. I know your real end, and it's going to be bad. I know it's going... Because, like, I didn't... Like, the Black Winter even says, I didn't want to come here. I knew this universe was doomed. I knew this universe was completely fucked, so I didn't want to come here. But I didn't come... But I came here because I want him. I want Galactus, my Hearld. Yeah, that's right. In here, Galactus... It does a bit of retconning for Galactus's origin, which I know, like, it may leave some people up in the air. Like, it may, like, that may be some divisive for some real fans. I honestly, like, at one hand, I like it, but at the same time, like, I'm still on the fence. I like it story-wise, but the more you think about it, the more it bothers me, but at the same time, I still like it. It's confusing. Like, I'm half and half on it. But yeah, in here, we find out in this retcon history that the Black Winter saved Galen from the end of the universe, because he's the one who destroyed the previous universe, and then made Galen into Galactus and made him his herald. Much like how Galactus makes heralds out of Silver Surfer and the others. So that may be divisive to some people, of making Galactus like someone else's puppet. But at the same time, I'm like, like, I like it, but like at the same, it'll grow on me probably. Anyway, so should you get Donny Cates' Thor? Is that even a question? Yes. If you are a fan of Thor, I know Jason Aaron's run was big and encompassing, but this really holds as a, Cates' run on Thor really shows that this is a comic that can be worthy enough to follow in Aaron's footsteps. I really want to get the second volume because that one will deal with Donald Blake as the big villain. So I'm just really enjoying this. Donny Cates continues to be the golden boy for Marvel. So I highly recommend this. Go out and get this in trade. Just do what you can to get this. Anyway, so hope you all enjoyed this. But if you've read Donny Cates' Thor, what did you guys think of it? Do you guys like it, hate it? Do you guys like Aaron's run more than Cates, or do you want Cates' run like more? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.